Hello and welcome to 1976 and Interlagos. Our race today is going to be a 25-minute race on a default date in 1976, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with medium cloud, standing start, no pit stops and a heavy rubbered circuit. We're driving a 1965 Cooper again, but this time it's the COPA-B version of the Cooper, so it's got big fat slicks on it, much more stiffly sprung, a lot faster lap times than the vintage touring car version of the 65 Mini. We're going to be racing the vintage touring cars tier 1 class again, and we're going to have a full grid, as much as we can anyway, of the tier 1s, and then we're going to have a very few select COPA-B cars just to fill in the gaps at the end to make a full 31 car grid. We are today racing the BMW 2002s, really, and to achieve that I've had to knock the opponent's skill level down to 114 from 120. We're on high aggression still, so this is going to produce a really, really good, interesting race, a real Goodwood style race. So, without further ado, let's get trackside and let's go and see how this race pans out. It looks cool, doesn't it? Right, we'll let all these BMWs back through again. Not through choice. So you'll see this race will be very much a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sorry, that was a bit of me there. Use a bit of grass. So we've had our good part of the lap. Now we hand back over to the BMWs and we just basically have to let them go. I don't know if that was me. I was moving over a little bit, but I don't know if I moved over that much. I think I left a car's width, but for now we'll assume that that was me and not them. I'll get to give them a wave of apology as they breeze past. Sorry mate, I think that was me. Let's back out of it. The rear of the car's on an absolute knife edge on the brakes through there, that left-hander. It's funny, I mean it looks like you're going for an overtaking move, but it's not really an overtaking move, you're just trying to maximise your efficiency on the track in and around the other cars, so that these people that are miles behind you don't catch you up in time for the first real corner, so that you can then take your natural line. We may be able to hang on to this until the end of the straight. I think I might have to go defensive on this one. It's going to be very close. Oh no, we're all good. We're all good. Well, that's good. So the first part of the lap we've been able to have our natural line. I hope they fix that for 1.6. Their ability to do unnatural things. Yeah, you put your car in a gap knowing that physics means that nothing's going to go in that gap, but they manage to do things, supernatural things, that then mean that that gap that should have been free is no longer. Easy. Drew. Oh, he's still there, he's still there. You might hear some funny noises out of me on this one. Yeah. Create as much of a gap as we possibly can so that we can then do that first part of the lap free again. It's really on the edge of second or third through there. I'm still not sure what's best. I think it's so close, I don't think it really makes a whole lot of difference. And I think we've got ourselves enough of a gap here. I think we're doing alright. Find yourself just watching the mirrors the whole time. But yeah, I think we're all okay here. Can take it in fourth. I think I prefer it in third though. We might struggle to make this gap up, you know. I was so nervous there. enough. Didn't quite get the front weighted properly there. It's very nearly a nasty accident there. I think we're a bit closer, aren't we? Get up there. Definitely closer. It's going to be tight, isn't it? There's not much meat left on these bones. A bit better. I made that unstable there on the way in. Didn't do a very good job of that at all. Come on, stop. Oh. Made a right balls up of that, Andrew. Two more laps, haven't we, I think? Sorry, I'm giggling like a little girl, I can't even help it. Get off that. Got the gap? Not quite, have we? Yes, we have. Just a mini size gap, just. There was the lightest of contact there. I don't feel bad about it. It wasn't that bad. Not sure what I was doing there. This has been a brilliant lap for us. Look at the time. Imagine what a bit of a slipstream does. I guess because the Mini's so terribly unaerodynamic. Messed that up though. Too much talking. Right, this isn't over yet. We'll be lucky to get to the end of the second straight. Still in the lead. Gave them a bit too much room. Turned in later, thinking that they had the like an overspeed, which they didn't have. I gave away a bit of time there. I'm not going to bother defending this. I will this one though. Makes it a bit awkward for you, mate. Need to get in that gap. Come on, front end. Bite, damn you. This isn't looking good here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You. Fuck. Well done, you bastard. Oh. Oh man. That's really disappointing. Right, let's have a look at that time. So we've got all the Corvettes. Yeah. Okay, fine. Corvettes. Yeah, nice. Right, and we've got Herbert Ziegler. He sounds like a BMW driver, doesn't he? But you got it. It's more than it's like 2.5 tenths, nearly 3 tenths there. So to be fair, you know, it's quite a gap at the end. But yeah. Ah, bags. Never mind. So what's the best lap? So 327.9. I've got 327.2. So yeah, but that was with a massive toe, to be fair. Yeah, right. Let's get into the replay and we'll unpack it there, shall we? See you in a sec. Well, second place, but strangely, not that unhappy with it really. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm actually really happy with how the race turned out. So when the comment came on one of the previous videos asking to see if we could produce a more Goodwood style racing where, you know, you got a very fast car in the straights but slow in the corners and vice versa. And we did the Setterton 300 race, and it was I kind of knew that it was not going to pan out the way that they wanted it to, but I also wasn't happy that I hadn't produced what they were looking for. So I went away and I thought about it. Well, okay, probably the best bet is to have the COPA-B Mini then, and here we are. So, and nominally it's about 2 seconds a lap slower than the 2002s around here, the COPA-B Mini. So we've knocked it back to about 114 in the difficulty level, and balanced out really nicely. If I was starting at the front, I'd probably knock it up to 115, maybe 116. But starting from the back, 114 seemed to get us to where we wanted to be at about the right sort of time, which worked out quite nicely, as you saw. So the COPA-B Mini is night and day different to drive than the vintage touring car Tier 2 Mini. So it's much more stiffly sprung. It's on great big fat chunky slicks as well. You've got a lot more setup options to play with as well, and it's generally a lot more responsive. It's not as precise to drive as the JCW, but then you wouldn't expect it to be. It's 1965 car chassis versus a modern day car. So, but compared to the vintage touring car Tier 2 Mini, there's almost no comparison. If you were to drive the two, you'd be surprised that they were both based on the same car. Although they do, interestingly, carry over some traits. That like little snap oversteer in the middle of the corner, they have got a bit of that going on, and I think it's where the inside wheel is lifting, and then it just struggles at that point and then loses it. So that's something I'm going to be working on. There's definitely work to do on the setup here, which is quite interesting to me. It makes it interesting for me doing that. So yeah, we were struggling down the straight, even though I had it on rich fuel mixture. That was everything it had. It was maxed out. I even had to turn off mechanical failures because the car was springing oil leaks left, right and centre in the practice races. So it's just running at its top end rev range the whole time, and it didn't seem to matter what I did. I had to compromise everything so much to get it to finish that it wasn't fun. So I switched those off and just thought, screw it, we'll just run it, we'll just max it out. So yeah, it's not realistic at the moment the way it is, and you get the same thing with Bathurst as well. If you go to Bathurst with these cars, they'll down Conrod Straight, they will fail a lot. But interestingly enough, you still get the engine points rack up, which is interesting. I don't know quite why that is. If you got them turned off, why they're racking up, but they were. Yeah. Anyway, so this is now the start of the last lap. So we're going to get to see how it all panned out. So we started the last lap with a teeny tiny lead, and we knew by the time we got to the end of this straight, it was going to be gone. We were going to be lucky to maintain third place into the into the third corner. That is cool, and you just see him going flying past. So I chop off the red and white car here, just so I have a bit more freedom of choice on line in the middle part of this double left, and it works nicely. It then got us a nice exit. I'm not sure what the 24 was doing there, but okay. That does look cool in that livery, doesn't it? I do like that livery on the 24 car. And then I'm a bit naughty there, so I sort of block the 24 car and I hang it around the outside and then swing it into this left-hander, and I've now got myself where I need to be. I'm now trying to catch the 2002. I'm a little bit further behind than where I want to be because I can't make the move where I want to make the move now. It's just not going to happen. So it's all about just trying to maximise what I can at this point so I can make the move as soon as I possibly can into that last little complex section. So we come up to here, we've got the very, very fast right. Now forgive the controls because I'm just going to put it onto chase mode now. So here we have to squeeze in the inside of the 23 car, and ideally I want to make my move down into this left-hander here, but I'm just too far back and I can't make it stick. It would be a ridiculous move to give it a go. That's that little oversteer moment I was talking about that you get if you're pushing it a bit too far. Right, so let's go trackside again now. So now my next opportunity is to make a move into here, into this right-hander, and it is a lunge, but I've got no other choice now. If I don't do it now, this race is over. I'll be lucky to finish second, let alone first. And now I'm just trying to squeeze every last little bit of time I can out of this section of circuit, and I think I leave a little bit on the table. There's a little bit there, but I don't think that it's anywhere near a quarter of a second's worth. It's not enough to win the race. Yeah, and it is literally now, it's just like push, 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 try and make this gap as much as we can to give us as much of a chance to get to the finish line first as we possibly can. I leave it in second here, I rev the nuts off the car, trying to just get as much speed as I can out of it. And then from this point onwards there's very little I can do really. It's just try and take the line of least resistance and just hope that there's enough. I could have blocked him, I could have moved over, but it would have been unfair. There he goes. Let's see how close that was. So he is on the line now. Right, let's jump onto my chase view. Alright, let's have a look. Ah, yeah, look, you see, I mean that's a fair, there's a car length there, isn't there? There's a mini-sized car length there. So, really and truly, it felt really close, but actually, it wasn't really that close at all. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that was a really enjoyable race, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, please do consider liking and subscribing. And until the next time, thank you for watching. We'll see you later.